Okay, I've labored and I've collected some really good Fuser data here. This is a parametric sweep where basically what I did was set the power supply current limit to 20 milliamps for all of the runs, and then 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, and 50 or so kilovolts while adjusting the gas pressure, which is pictured here as the color, to try to stay inside the current limit. And of course I didn't stay inside the current limit, as you can see from these L-shaped figures coming off of each supply voltage. Now you'll note these supply voltages go down. That's because I'm computing the actual grid voltage on my Fuser through the ballast resistor that it has from the data that comes out of the power supply, which says, by golly, I'm putting out 50 kilovolts, but as the current goes up, the voltage on the grid is going to go down due to that series resistance. Now, this shows us some interesting things. And by the way, I had to edit out a couple of rogue points that were showing me Qs on my arbitrary scale here of hundreds, because they were obviously something that happened in sort of an arc faster than the current monitor could respond. But look at this, Q, and this is not just raw neutron output, this is divided by the power supply output current, including the current wasted in the ballast resistor, is going up as we go to the right rather quickly, almost no matter how we look at it. That's interesting. But what's also interesting is that now that we have milliamps here as our x-axis, it's not going up with current. Turning it up to 11 does not help, guys. In fact, we're seeing our highest Qs at some fairly low currents. This one up here could be an outlier, but these are surely not. And we're finding a sweet spot right here between 5 and 10 milliamps of rather high Q. And of course it's also happening at the higher kilovolts. No big surprise there, because we're still trying to overcome that Coulomb force. But it appears very much that in terms of Q, we are space charge limiting, or going out of focus, whatever you want to call it, as we let our current rise. Now, one of the reasons we have to run these higher pressures at the lower voltages is because the thing won't stay lit without an ion source. And all these were taken without an ion source. We will do another run when I get a time to do it with all the same parameters except an available ion source where I can control things a little bit better, almost regardless of pressure. Run a little bit lower pressures, a little bit less collisions with neutrals, and keep it lit even at lower pressures than it would normally stay self-lit at. But I find this very, very, very valuable data. Now, I, being a good observer, was aware of most of this the whole time from, handwritten data or just text logs. But isn't this interesting that Q is highest even at the higher voltages at the lower currents? And the reason there's no points in here where I'm wiggling the mouse cursor most likely is simply because I couldn't make it stable without an ion source at the low currents here at any pressure. Any pressure it would stay lit at, it wanted to be up here in the higher current drain thing. That being kind of a divergent phenomenon. So let's see if this recorded, and if it does, I'll post it.